Master! Master, please! Guide me! Give me the guidance that I need! Where do I go for film reviews? I need them so much! Please guide me, I'm confused! Master, give me the knowledge! Where do I go for film reviews? Master, please guide me! Give me a sign so I know that you're there! Give me a sign! Guide me to film reviews! Be my savior, Master! You know that I need your guidance! Please, just a sign, appear to me! Where do I go for film reviews? Master! Master! Master!
Why, film Banter, of course. It's a no-brainer.
People of Earth.
Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, it is I, Daryl Coop Smith, and my beloved cohort, Mr. Jedediah Farquhar, sitting next to me here in the brazen world of Be Terrific. And here we are, show number 2, Christopher. Here we
Show
are.
2 at Be Terrific.
That's
that is
right,
correct.
dude. We're here
but
one more
73
time.
altogether.
That's right, exactly. 73, my
made it to
God, it's been an
73.
amazing journey.
Are you going to make it to 73?
I don't know.
I hope so.
I hope not.
I'd like you to.
Well, I'd like me to, too.
I'd like to have you around.
Well, thank you, dude.
Once
It's a
again,
pleasure.
an official handshake.
Good seeing you
It's so
again.
Good to see
Yes,
you. It's so
very
good
good.
for you to
It's
see
good to
me.
be back, everybody.
And thank you. Yes.
How we doing, Be Terrific audience? Hello, Twitch.
You are welcome. We have returned once again. This
Yes.
is our show number 2. We
We're
are
happy to
going
be
to,
here.
of course, be doing more film reviews.
Mm-hmm.
You may note that I don't look like a lesbian African, forgive me, Alaskan woman anymore. I did get the hair cut. The tsunami wave has been completely demised. So,
It's hard to tell, though. Your hair is just wild.
Well, it does go crazy, I know.
Yeah.
It's so true indeed. Well, all
But
right.
tonight we have a bunch of good films to tell you about. We're
We
going to
do
do.
indeed.
We're going to start off in a few minutes with Tomb Raider. We're going to jump into Gringo.
But first, in
Well, no,
fact,
I want to tell them all the films we're going to be covering.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, remember?
Okay.
As I was saying, Tomb Raider,
There you
Gringo,
go, dude.
thank
Try
you.
some of that.
You did a little too much of this before
I
the
think
show.
I
did, yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
know.
good stuff.
Been
Put
a
that
long
there.
day.
Don't
Yeah,
burn
okay.
the clothes. Gringo, Jumanji, then we're going to do A Wrinkle in Time.
did you mention Tomb Raider?
I did.
You did
It's the top
indeed.
of the show.
Tomb Raider.
And then after
Gringo, Jumanji.
Yes.
We go right into
And then
Wrinkle
we go
in
into Wrinkle in Time.
Death of
followed
Stalin.
By, no. We end with Death of Stalin,
Uh-huh.
remember?
Then we go into-
And then we do Film Stars
Don't die
in Liverpool. So that's our rundown. Sorry, we're being redundant. But we're
are
going to start
indeed.
the show, though, with a little news. We figured that's a good thing to do.
And what news do you have for
I
us?
have a few news stories. First of all, this was a pretty big story. It's been rumored for a while, but now it's been confirmed that they are doing another Indiana Jones film. This is going to be the 5th installment. Spielberg is returning to direct. He actually confirmed
How exciting.
that he will be doing this film starting next year, 2019. I guess in April they're going to start shooting. Harrison Ford will be back.
Very good.
Producers will be back. Everything will be the good old team. They're going to be shooting it in Britain.
Oh, exciting.
For a 2020, July 10th to be specific.
No, I can't
2020
wait.
release.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I hope it's better than Part 4, which I didn't love.
That was the, no, Sean Connery was the part 3.
That was Part 3, which I love that film.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, no, Part 4 is the one where it was Kate Blanchett. They had the Cold War storyline. Remember?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed
Wait a
it
minute,
for...
was Harrison even in that
Yeah,
film?
of course he was. That's
he?
the one with Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, Shia, God bless you.
Didn't care for that one. But I liked seeing Indy back. That was great.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, okay.
It wasn't a great one, but I'm hoping that this one will be a return to form.
Okay, good.
Another story we have is the wonderful star who's now in a lot of things, Kumail Nanjiani from The Big Sick.
I love The Big
He's
Sick.
great.
What a wonderful film that
co-wrote
was.
the film, and it was a
Fantastic.
breakout film for him. He has a
Amazing.
new movie that's coming out. He's going to start filming that soon with Dave Bautista. It's going to be an action comedy.
Oh, Dave Bautista, who
Yeah.
of course plays the big funky
Yes,
guy
Drax,
in
right?
Guardians of the
In
Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy, and he
Absolutely.
was most recently in Blade Runner 2049.
He was
He had a
indeed.
small part
Very
in that
small
film.
cameo as he was
he's
iced.
great though. He is a really
He was iced at the beginning
he
of the
was.
film.
He
by
has really good comic timing. So I think the two of them
Yeah.
will work well. It's an action comedy where
very
Bautista
well be.
plays a detective who jumps into an Uber, played by Nanjiani, who
Ah.
then he's kind of forced to drive him around.
You mean
Almost.
Angiani plays the Uber
Uber
itself?
driver.
Oh, the driver.
The driver.
Oh, I thought he played the Uber.
Yeah, he plays the car.
Like he put four wheels
yeah,
on
that's what he
himself.
does. Yeah.
Okay.
So it kind of reminds me of Collateral a little bit with Tom Cruise
All right, very good.
and Jamie Foxx. That should be
Foxx.
fun.
Very good.
So then we have another big story. This is pretty big. It's an ongoing saga. The Weinstein Company officially files for bankruptcy.
38 mil, yeah.
Yeah, and a group called Lantern Capital out of the, I guess, Texas is going to be pretty much taking all the assets for the most part.
Yes.
Which they're saying is valued at about $500 million to $1 billion. All those
little
different
bright in here.
properties.
Going to put the shapes.
So that's pretty big. But the big part of this that I thought was pretty cool.
Yes.
Now that this company is taken over, not only are they going to be retaining all of the employees
Okay.
for a period, about 150 employees, they're also releasing all the non-disclosure agreements that were previously signed during the Weinstein era. So anybody who had worked with or worked for the Weinstein Company who signed an NDA now is going to be released from that, and they can come tell their stories if they'd like. So
gosh.
that could be interesting.
Well,
Maybe
how-
the floodgates will be opened once again.
How unexciting is that?
I thought that was a cool story. You know,
Really?
Yeah, well, he deserves it. The heck
Okay.
with him.
Well, I hate to give the man any publicity personally.
Well, I agree, but it's a big news story
Well,
that should
I
be
suppose
covered.
so. Very well.
Moving on,
All right.
another one that I thought was interesting, and
Let's move on to our next story, shall we?
well, why don't we? You know, this one kind of initially escaped me. Apparently, a year ago, they announced that they were doing some spin-off Matrix films. I don't know
Yes.
how I heard about missed that
yeah,
one.
I think I did hear
Yeah.
about that myself.
So-
Keanu has nothing to do with
No,
these
no.
films, so
What's
this is just-
basically happening is they're bringing in a writer who's currently writing a Matrix story that's going to be in the Matrix universe,
The Matrix
but
universe.
could be separate from the main stories
there
that we
you
already
go.
know. Could focus on different characters
Maybe they'll stick
entirely.
Lawrence Fishburne in there.
Maybe.
And,
There's been rumors that there might be a prequel story with a young Morpheus. We're not sure.
Oh, all right.
Right now, it's just a lot of conjecture, but the guy that's writing this, he's the one that wrote Ready Player One.
Oh.
And he was acknowledging that obviously there are some parallels between the stories of the films a little bit.
very well.
So that could be interesting. We'll see what happens with that. But that is in progress, and I guess maybe next year that might be in production.
Huh, yeah,
I'm glad
yeah.
we're putting it to sleep. And last story,
Cream
this
and
is
sugar.
big. I mean, this is no surprise. Black Panther again, #1, 5 weeks in a row.
Right. A sequel is coming.
Of course.
Yeah.
605 million domestic so
Well,
far.
it just broke the billion mark
Well,
worldwide.
worldwide,
yeah. It's doing
and they're
extremely
saying
well.
it's going to end up being the biggest Marvel film ever, which is a no-brainer.
no question there.
Obviously,
It's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. But that's huge. The movie is just probably going to keep being #1. I mean, I think
Yeah, it is. I mean, it even beat out Tomb Raider this past
It
weekend,
did.
which
I
was
would
kind of a
argue
killer.
that it will probably be #1 this weekend because Pacific Rim I don't think has a chance.
There you go.
But I think Ready Player One might be #1 when it opens on the 29th.
There you go.
Other than
Very
that,
much so.
Black Panther is going to be in charge.
The new Spielberg film,
Yeah.
the Avatar-induced,
Kind of, yeah, we'll see.
Spielbergian
the
clip
pop culture
extraordinaire, yeah.
behemoth that film is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's our news. We're going to move on now.
We're going to move on now into
I know
our
you want to do a little
typical-
trivia section,
I
correct?
do.
You wanted to give a little trivia question to our viewers.
I do, but you know, I see nothing scrolling here within our illustrious
So we don't
world
think then that
of
the live
monitored input.
commentary is going to be working.
I see no monitored input
All
today,
right.
so
well,
I'm
you
not
know what?
quite
Just
sure.
in case it happens to
But
work.
just in case you're out there watching, we'd love to see old Nerd Guy. We had old Nerd
Oh,
Guy.
yeah, he was with us 2 weeks
Nerd
ago.
Guy 30 or whoever you were. I think he was from Beirut. I'm not sure. But I did know that he didn't have YouTube in his country.
Correct.
But yeah, if you are listening, we'd like to know there are approximately 14 Robert De Niro films out there where he has died in the film.
Yes.
So if you're out there, please, if you get some of those films, please scroll them in and let us know.
Yeah, we're looking
if
for
you're,
14.
This is something you can do with your phones as you use us as a nightlight to, drink your cappuccino by.
Yes.
So
We're
anyway,
going to begin the
let's
show.
begin the begin,
Let's
man.
talk cinema
Let's get
here.
into
We're going
the
to start
reviews,
with
dude.
the big release from last weekend.
Big release, of course,
Tomb
was
Raider.
the Raider of Tombs
Yes.
herself, Miss Lara Croft.
Yes,
This
the
is
reboot.
Reboot from the 2002 scenario
Yes.
with Miss Angelina Jolie.
Now was that? Yeah, that was the first one was 02, right?
I believe so.
And then
the
there was a
second
sequel.
was 2004 or 5, possibly.
Yeah, something like that. The sequel is called Lara Croft, Tomb
Correct.
Raider.
It's not so great. Not so great, those films.
I'll
I
be
didn't
honest
love
with
them.
you. I don't think I actually ended up seeing the second one. I remember I saw the first one.
Okay.
But this one stars Alicia Vikander, the Swedish actress who won an Oscar for
did indeed.
about, 2-3 years
She
ago?
won it for that film with our beloved little Stephen Hawking player
Yes,
guy.
Eddie Redmayne.
Eddie Redmayne.
Yes, she played his wife.
She played his
in the
wife.
film where he played, I think, was the first
No. His wife
transgender
was
man.
played by his wife in that film was played by the girl that we know who she is, and she's so very cute.
Yes.
And she was in the Star Wars movie.
Oh yes, Felicity Jones.
Felicity
Correct,
Jones.
correct,
there you go.
correct.
It's a good thing we're both completely
agree,
on. You
yes.
know, as film critics, it's a good thing that we know nothing about what
Oh,
we're talking
yes,
about.
exactly.
And I always find that very fascinating.
But in this film, Alicia Vikander takes on the
She does
role of
indeed.
playing Lara Croft.
Yeah.
Walton Goggins plays the villain in the film.
Correct.
Her father, who she is searching for in this movie, is played by Dominic West.
Yes.
I guess, do you want to, should we read the synopsis, or pretty
Well,
much
the
people
synopsis,
kinda
I think
get an
most
idea
people know
of
if
it?
you're
It's
familiar
easy.
with the video game. Lara goes into, she is in fact a Tomb Raider.
Yes, she is.
Of course, not to be confused with the X-rated parody known as Womb Raider.
Oh, yes.
Has nothing to do with these two films have nothing to do with each other whatsoever.
I appreciate the clarification.
Well, there you
was
go. I just
confused
wanted to make
about
sure
that
because
point.
somebody out there is going to say, wait, is he talking about Womb Raider?
Yeah.
No, stoners.
One guy in a
This
basement
is
in
the
Idaho.
new Tomb Raider film starring illustrious Alicia Vikander.
She's great.
And this is basically about she's on her way. She's searching for Dad. Dad has gone missing. This is kind of the prequel film.
Yeah, it's setting up the new universe
Bingo.
of Tomb
So
Raider
it is
films.
indeed. Because as you may recall, if you did play the video game, as I did, I was a big player of this video game. I always loved it dearly. And of course, she always had those double magnums.
two guns, yeah.
The two magnums
Yeah.
that she'd pull out.
Yeah.
You know, she was always packing her double Ds and her double 45s. So, and of course, Alicia, our beloved Angelina, she was certainly more in the tune of the Tomb Raider physique that Lara
Doesn't
Croft
really
had in the
matter,
video.
though.
Well,
It's a video
she
game
was kind of
character,
I
you
know,
know.
but there was a bustiness there to Lara that is completely lost in the Alicia character. But Alicia is a far more, I think, a better and heartfelt.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah,
a more heartfelt Lara Croft.
She's a more
without doubt.
human Lara Croft, a more
Absolutely.
relatable Lara Croft.
I loved her
And
in
I'll
this
be
film.
honest, I thought she was fantastic, and I
did
thought
too.
this was better than any of the Angelina Jolie films.
No
I thought
question.
it was much
well,
better.
this was an epic.
It was an epic little
was a
film.
bit of
you're
an
right.
epic
There's some
film.
really good sequences in this movie.
You know, I didn't care for the opening too much. I thought that was just a little too much film. We open and she's in a bicycle race. She's
You know, I kind of like it. I
she
like
plays
the
the fox.
chase. Yeah.
They put a little foxtail on the back of her bike. She's driving through London. She's being chased by a whole group who has a fox
Well, her
chase.
fellow courier.
on
She was a
bicycles.
courier starting out
Correct.
in the film. Yeah.
So I thought that was all unnecessary. I thought it was a little bit of an eye.
Well, that was just to give us the idea that she's
Spectacle.
agile. She's, it's just it's to just set up her ability to do outsmart and run and do all this kind of stuff. That's
and
all.
Alicia
that was.
pointed out she was almost injured very badly.
I'm sure she was
during the making of that.
Yeah.
But let's move on to the film itself. It is an epic film.
It is.
She's on search for her dad. He's been missing for 7 years.
7 years.
So she goes and she has to find a specific man to take her to this little
And
funky
played by
island.
Daniel Wu.
There you
He
go.
has a little fishing boat. She goes to Hong Kong. She meets
God
him.
bless you.
He reluctantly goes with her, but his father also disappeared around
There
the
you
same
go.
time because his father helped take her father
Correct.
to this mysterious island that was basically uncharted.
That mysterious island that exists in all films.
And there, the
everywhere.
whole gist of it is that her
I
father
know.
was trying to prevent this evil organization called Trinity
There you go.
from capturing this, this tomb of a dead empress from Japan,
There you go.
who they say has the ability
Has
to
the
bring
abilities
forth
to
the undead.
completely
It's the
bring forth the
MacGuffin.
undead and to completely destroy the planet as we know it now.
Exactly.
So we don't even need Donald Trump, is what they're saying.
That's pretty much
as
the
long
case.
as we have this kind of this undead queen,
Yeah.
we're all
She
set.
would bring forth a quicker demise as to the slow,
As to the
painful
slow,
agony that we're
painful
going
death
through here.
that Mr. Trump is doing to us on a daily basis.
Watching his dismantle our country piece by piece.
I know. Just bend over and watch Donald do his worst.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on.
But let
from
us
that.
move on. I really did enjoy this film.
I
a
did
lot.
too. I
thought
really enjoyed
Alicia
it.
was the heart and
She
soul
was.
of this movie.
She was exceptional.
She really was
Yeah.
exceptional. She really brought warmth and pathos and just sheer absolute energy to a part that was amazing. I mean, the video game is quite outstanding. There were certain points in this thing where she has to kind of grab onto the side of she's jumping over a chasm, as you may recall, and she has a pickaxe.
It's like a climber's pickaxe.
Well, in the PC game, you have to press E to make her grab on. So in my brain, as she's doing it, I'm
You're
going,
like, E?
press E. Press E to make her hang on with that pickaxe.
I love that scene where she's falling off the waterfall and she lands on that rusty old abandoned crashed airplane.
Oh, yeah,
Like
yeah.
the amphibious airplane
I
that's
know.
laying on the side of the cliff.
That was right
that
out
was
of
a cool
the
scene.
last video game
Oh,
that she did. It was right out of there. So
well, I
and she's
heard
on
this movie in general lends towards more the newer games as opposed to the classic Tomb Raider games.
Absolutely. Well, the
Yeah.
classic Tomb Raiders are
Yeah.
almost like
I was more of a voyeur of those games. I would watch people play them.
voyeur, eh?
Yes, wasn't really a big video game guy, except for a couple games.
Okay.
I was a Mortal Kombat 2 guy,
Okay.
and I was into Vice City. That's and some Nintendo when I was a kid. I haven't
No
kept
Grand
up with
Theft
that.
Auto for you?
Well, that's what I said. Vice City.
Oh, okay.
Grand Theft
Well,
Auto
that
Vice
was
City.
a
That game
part
was
of
amazing.
Grand Theft Auto.
It is. Yeah, that was a game
But the
I was
original
obsessed
Tomb
with.
Raiders look like Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, I
And,
remember, it
they're
was very
the
archaic
graphics
graphics.
are very archaic, and this
Yeah.
is back in the 90s. Of
Exactly.
course, nowadays everything is almost brilliant avatars of.
It's,
in fact,
very
Call of
good
Duty,
quality.
all these games that they make now, they actually use with human actors, and they just.
Yeah,
They
motion capture,
basically emoji them.
They do.
They completely just blend them into human character. It's amazing. It's amazing.
No, it's
they
really
say
amazing.
eventually that we're going to be able to have Humphrey Bogart and Marilyn Monroe
I've heard
starring
that.
in
Yeah,
films
I know.
again.
That's George
Which is
Lucas
so
wanted to do
cool.
that for years.
Yeah.
He
I'm
wanted to do that.
surprised.
But
Did you like this film?
I honestly, I really enjoyed it quite a bit. I would highly recommend Tomb Raider. It's a lot of fun. It goes by pretty quick.
It
I
did
don't
go
remember
by.
feeling antsy even for a moment.
It was 2 hours long. I
Yeah,
looked
it
at
was
my watch. I suddenly
enjoyable.
went, it's over?
Yeah.
It went
was
by like
good.
playing the video
And it
game.
has a lot of Indiana Jones moments when
It
those
does.
caves, the catacombs, the traps. It was
Yeah,
really
yeah.
a cool
No,
little
it was
film.
great fun. It
They
was
did a
great
good
fun.
job. The director did a great job. I'll be honest, I wasn't familiar with him. He's a Norwegian filmmaker, but his name is Roar Uthog. I probably mispronounced
It's easy
it.
for you to say.
Yeah. But he most notably did a film called The Wave in 2015. But he did a great job with this
Okay.
film. I thought it was
so
very
too.
well done.
I thought they had
very
set
intense at
designs,
times.
Set designs, just masterful
Yeah.
photography. Everything about this
Yeah.
movie, it's a class act all
It's
the way.
great, and I love
looking
Dominic
forward
West as
to-
her father. I thought he was very good.
I thought he was
I
excellent.
love him in everything.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, honestly, ever since The Wire, I'm like, this guy's amazing.
No, he is great.
Walton Goggins was a good villain. Daniel Wu was good.
Right.
And we have Christian Scott Thomas showing up in the
I
film.
know, I know.
Derek Jacobi.
As her evil
Kind-
or good aunt.
Yeah, we don't know anything
Whichever,
about
we're
her
not
yet,
quite
yeah.
sure. And I did like the ending to give us, there's more to come, hopefully. It's
Exactly. Yeah,
gonna-
they're setting up a franchise.
Going to go into the James Bond franchise world there, so I very much hope they do. I can't wait to
I
see
think
the
they
next
will.
one.
I think it'll be enough of a hit globally that they'll make at least one more.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Very good. So that's
great.
That's two big yeses.
Two big yeses here for Tomb
Lara
Raider.
and
We really
Tomb
enjoyed
Raider,
this film.
absolutely.
I thought there was some great
It
moments
was
to
great
it.
fun. It
Yeah.
was lovely. It
It
was
was
just a wonderful piece
It was
of
a
work.
really
And of
cool
course,
film.
yeah,
I liked it a lot
liked
more
it,
than
yeah.
I thought I was going to.
Did you?
Because I wasn't dying to see it, but the
Okay.
draw was that I'm a big admirer of Alicia. I think she's a great actress.
She's wonderful.
And so I said, you know what, I'm going to
Yeah.
go see it, and it was.
No, she's dying
It was a
mind.
joy to watch.
She's still in our mind.
Yeah.
There's no question about it.
But
let's go on to our
let's move
second
on. We're going to do
beloved
Gringo
film.
next.
Aha.
Gringo is a comedy, action comedy that's been out for
It
about
is
2
a
weeks.
Comedy of errors, if you will.
Yeah, so basically it stars David Oyelowo, who you might remember as Martin Luther King in Selma, but he's
Right.
been appearing in quite a few films
been in
lately.
a lot of things.
He was in the United Kingdom recently as
I
well.
love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know you liked that. I didn't get a chance to see that
was
one.
quite good.
With Rosamund Pike.
I
But,
love Rosamund Pike.
Yeah, so this is an interesting film. He plays a guy that's a low-level manager at a pharmaceutical company.
It's a very low-level comedy, drama,
yeah.
A dramedy kind of.
It is. Dramedy is exactly what it is.
a
He works
dramedy.
for Joel Edgerton, who's been a friend of his for years.
Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron is also one of the
Also
bosses.
in this, yeah.
So they go on a business trip to Mexico. They're trying to sell a weed pill, and what we find out
A
is that
pill that you can take and have the same effect
Yeah, it's a
that
synthetic weed.
marijuana
Synthetic
will have upon
marijuana.
you. Correct.
And we find out that it's been sold on the black market to some of the cartels down there. And so let's just say the cartel is not happy with the way things are going with the company. And so eventually they go to they want to kidnap David Oyelowo.
Right.
And they want to hold him for ransom, this and that. So then there's some plot twists that we don't expect. And then hilarity and action ensues.
Hilarity.
Yes.
Quote unquote.
It's not as hilarious as you would think.
No,
It's got a couple
it's
funny
supposed
moments.
to be a comedy, but I got
But it's really just entertaining over like laugh out loud.
Yeah. It was not laugh out loud by
It
any
wasn't.
means.
Eventually,
I barely laughed to myself, if I may say.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I enjoyed it
think
for
maybe
what it
perhaps
was.
within the echoing circular
Yes.
confine of my popcorn
Yes.
container, I might have heard her a little.
A little bit.
But you know something? Did you like this film?
I liked the film. I didn't love it, but I liked it. I thought the actors were all cool. I thought it was nice to see David Oyelowo do some comedy, which I haven't seen him do.
Yeah, true.
I'm a big fan of Sholto Copley. Ever since District 9, I love him. He's in a lot of Neil Blomkamp films. He was also in Chappie. He was in Equilibrium.
Okay.
He was also in the remake of A-Team. I think he's great, and in this film he plays a mercenary who is sent to try to retrieve David Oyelowo.
Yes.
And I thought he had some fun with his role.
Yeah, he was quite good actually.
Amanda Seyfried shows up in this film.
Yeah.
We have Thandie Newton. There's actually a lot of A-listers in this movie.
Absolutely.
When I enjoyed it for the cast. I liked some of the crazy scenarios that occurred,
Right.
but I didn't love the film. It's a 3-star film at best.
I can't even know if I could go 3 stars on it.
You're gonna go
I think
less.
it's more of a performance film. The sum is definitely, the sum is far less than the parts of this film. The parts of which are very well, there's some great little moments, but there's just too much in between flack and too much going back and forth, and it was contrived. I didn't find that it was a coherent kind of a view. It was almost 2 hours, an hour and 46 minutes long. I just kind of found it to be, it just never quite gelled for me. And I really wanted to like it a lot because I love David.
Yeah.
I love Charlize.
I like the whole cast.
And I like Joel Edgerton.
Me too. He's great in everything. We just loved him in Red Sparrow.
I know, indeed.
You know what scene was kind of funny though? I liked those couple moments where they have Charlize Theron kind of manipulating Alan Ruck, who shows up as a guy who might want to invest in their company.
Where is that guy from? That Alan Ruck? He played the businessman.
He's been a long time, but his big break was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
There you go.
He played Cameron.
I was seeing him.
And then he was in Speed as well, and a bunch of other
As I saw
things.
his image there, I said, gee, I've seen him as a young boy.
Yeah, he's been
and
a
that's where
teenager.
he was in Ferris Bueller.
He did an obscure show in the early 90s that was on TGIF on Channel 7 called Going Places with Courtney Cox, if I remember correctly, was it Jennifer Aniston? It was like a bunch of people living in a house together. But he's
they're
been around a
friends.
long
They're
time.
friends,
Probably. What was noteworthy about this film, too, not that I really cared that much, but they say, the film debut of Paris Jackson, Michael Jackson's daughter.
Yes.
And I had to rattle my brain, like, first of all, where was she? What does she look like?
I know what she looks like.
She apparently plays that girl. There's a picture of her. She was the one that coaxes Amanda Seyfried's boyfriend into going down to Mexico to try to do a drug deal.
Right, that's right.
But I wouldn't have
she
known
was in that
her
music shop.
If she was in the lineup, I wouldn't be able to figure who she was.
Go.
But it was nice to see her on screen. Good luck to her.
She's a beautiful
She
girl.
did a capable job.
Yeah, she was good. She was okay.
To go on a point that you mentioned that was something that was trying to be funny that didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Was the head of the cartel was always like
the Beatle thing.
He wanted everybody to like the Beatles, and if they didn't like the Beatles, he would shoot them. I'm like, guys, you're trying too hard with that bit.
Yeah, it just didn't work for me
but
either.
I enjoyed the film for what it was.
It felt forced
a little
to me.
bit.
It felt like an HBO TV movie, perhaps. It just never quite should have been brought to the big screen. I think this is certainly something I would much rather wait to see on my home TV.
I would recommend wait till video for this one.
No big epic essence to it. Like Tomb Raider, you need to see on a big screen.
Oh, I agree.
The
100%.
bigger the better. I saw it on an IMAX screen with magnificent sound.
It was gorgeous.
It was an
great.
immersive experience.
Yeah, this is not an immersive
this film,
experience.
by no means.
This is, I have to go on a business trip to San Antonio in a couple weeks.
Do you?
No, I'm going to say that's what this movie is. I'm going to watch it in a hotel room with a beer from the minibar. That's what that movie is.
There you go.
But directed though by Joel Edgerton's brother, Nash Edgerton.
Well, maybe that's
another Australian coming in.
Well, there you go.
But I
can't say a lot about this film though. It really did nothing for me.
I would say watch it at home.
And yet, at the end of the film, I was in the theater with a couple people. There was a fellow there with his girlfriend.
Yes.
And in fact, I had to yell at them because they were talking as though they were the only other two people in the whole screening area.
That happens every once in a while.
So they were talking like they were in their living room.
I hate that.
So I was in the back and I said, "Hey guys, could you please keep it down a little?" "Oh, we didn't even know you were there."
Next time, bring the megaphone. That would be funny.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
You should do that.
Well, I don't want to end up with a dagger through my skull.
Years ago, off topic, real quick, my friends and I went to a midnight screening of one of the last, I think the second to last Resident Evil film.
Okay.
And it was packed.
Mila Jovovich.
Yeah, packed theater.
Oh, wow.
And it was a pretty rowdy crowd. And so one of the managers was there, and he was doing like this whole bit of trying to entertain the audience with movie trivia, which was kind of amusing. Then the movie starts, and there's some people in the back row getting really rambunctious while we're trying to watch the movie.
Yeah.
And some people are telling them to be quiet, and they're mouthing off. And then eventually a voice says, keep it down. And they're like, yeah, says who? Management. So the guy, he was hanging out in the back row, and they shut up. It was it was really a funny moment.
I'll try that.
Yeah,
I'm
you
going to
should.
use the term management next time.
Do it. What?
Yeah.
How are they going to know?
Who the hell cares?
I believe you as a manager.
I would too.
Yeah.
I know.
Anything more to say about Gringo before we move on?
Not really. You know, I didn't love the film. But anyway, as I said, I talked to the people afterwards.
Oh, okay.
And I said to them, "How did you like that movie?" The guy goes, "Excellent,
Excellent. Tubular.
I said I didn't even question him on that.
Okay.
But I said, okay. There
Well,
you go.
you know what? To each their own. I mean,
I know.
I enjoyed it for what it was.
It was a comic little slice of life. There's not
Yeah.
really even a plot here to sink your teeth into. It's
a loose
It just
story.
meandered
Yeah, it's a
around
little
a little
bit.
too much. There was too much cutesiness between Charlize and the other guys that wasn't even necessary to the plot. Then the whole Amanda Seyfried bit with her kind of having a little
She was kind of wasted in the
liaison.
movie.
Yeah, and I like Amanda.
I like her. She's good.
You know, as I say, I can't get into it. Let's move on to our third film.
All right. Well, we're going to cover
Ladies
a film
and gentlemen.
the last time we were here.
We did.
Mr. What was his name? O'Nerd?
Mr. O'Nerd
O'Nerd,
30,
if you're
I
watching,
believe.
thank you for watching.
If you're there,
he
O'Nerd.
had asked us if we were going to review Jumanji. So
We'd love to see you again if you can make it
yeah,
out of
we
your
hope
crypt.
you're watching. And
Yes.
so we're going to review Jumanji for you.
We are
because I
indeed.
reviewed it once. Daryl hadn't seen it at that
I
point,
had
so
not
now
seen
we're
it.
both going to review. So
I did indeed
and
see
it's
the
still
film.
playing. Would you believe it? It's still playing in some theaters.
Well, you know, it kind of
like
made
two
it back.
showtimes a day.
I know, and
Yeah.
it kind of made it back into some theaters.
Yeah.
They had like a little Jumanji right after maybe the third week or so of Black Panther.
Yeah.
They brought it back
out
in.
again. Yeah.
I don't know why, but they did.
Due to popular demand.
Popular demand, and it was a popular film, and it did very, very
It did
well.
I mean, it's going to have sequels because this is the this is Jumanji. Welcome to the jungle. So franchise films don't have just one title anymore.
Very true,
They
indeed.
always have to have a subtitle, a subheading.
I did not want to like this film.
I didn't want to see it, but I went to see it because it was a fun spin on the story.
Absolutely true.
Yeah.
Now, I did not even see the Robin Williams one where they played the board game.
Oh, okay, yeah. I saw
from
that when I was a kid.
15, 20 years ago, whenever that was.
95, I believe.
Was it 95?
95, 96.
So you were just like 12 then.
No, I was in high school.
Oh, okay.
95, 96, I was in high school.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I graduated in 96.
Yeah. I got my first bedpan.
I'm sure
back
you did.
in
You did,
95.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's get into the film.
The storyline
I
is
really did.
Yeah.
Like
it's
it.
very entertaining.
Absolutely.
For those of you that don't know, I'll tell the
Oh,
quick.
please tell them.
Because they might
They
want to
don't
know.
know. Somebody out there doesn't know.
Some guy just got out of a coma after a car accident. He might not know.
Some guy got out of a coma just after watching our first show.
He might have. That's true.
So
wow, these guys have evolved.
I know.
Yeah. So basically it's about four mismatched teenagers that aren't necessarily friends. They're in a detention together.
Right.
And then they're bored, so they are playing around in this old storeroom.
They go into
discover-
another dimension of
Yeah,
space and
they
time.
play an old video game that sucks them into the game, and they're given avatar bodies.
Yeah.
And so one is, the strong Dwayne Johnson. One of the girls becomes Jack Black. Another,
Which was the funniest of the four, I
exactly,
think.
yeah.
Jack playing
That
a
was
young
great, yeah.
a teenage girl.
And then the tough,
was
the
quite
tough
fun.
jock, the football jock becomes Kevin Hart.
Right.
And then the kind of the nerdy book girl, the girl next door, becomes like the hot athletic,
Tomb Raider,
almost Tomb Raider,
Tomb
Lara
Raider with
Croft.
her outfit.
And so they have to
absolutely.
get over their
And the
disagreements
other nerd
and
guy
team together.
is The Rock.
He's The Rock, yeah. And they all have different unique abilities, which I thought was a funny gag.
Yeah, that was okay.
Yeah, this was a lot more fun than I expected.
Absolutely, I liked it once they got into the whole world there, and then it was very disappointing though when little Nick
Jonas from the
shows up.
the Jonas Brothers.
I almost had to slash myself with my bonbon box.
I thought he did a capable job.
But he was okay.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't know that was him till after the movie, till I saw the
really?
credits.
Oh,
I don't
God.
follow the Jonas. I know of them.
of the Jonas Brothers.
But
and there
once
he
I
was.
saw him in the credits, I said, "Oh, that's who that
it
was."
was young
I
Nick
connected
Jonas.
the dots. Yeah.
I don't know how he got this part. I think probably
His agent.
he might be sleeping with one of the editors of the film.
I don't think so. Aren't they a very religious band? Aren't the brothers all
Actually,
like Christian?
they are.
I don't think he'd be
I believe
sleeping
they
around.
are. I think
Yeah.
Joe Jonas. Well, Joe Jonas is now marrying our redhead from Game of Thrones.
Is he?
Joe Jonas is marrying the tall redhead who is in Game of Thrones.
Which character did she play?
She's the main. She's there left at the castle with the long red
you're talking
hair.
about Cersei. Oh,
Yes.
You're talking about her.
Cersei, yeah. She's marrying Joe Jonas in real life.
Turner. Sophie Turner.
That's her.
Who was in the lady? She's going to be in the new X-Men film. She's the new Jean Grey.
That's right.
Thank you.
Well, she was in the past.
That's right.
X-Men.
She is with him. You're absolutely right.
She was in the last X-Men film.
She was, and she's going to be the
excellent.
subject of the new
she
one.
was
Yeah.
X.
She's
dash Lang.
yes. No, she's very good.
No, she was quite fine indeed.
You're right. She is with him. I forgot about that.
She is indeed.
Yes.
We can. Well, did you know she was with him?
No, I'm remembering now. But when you said the redhead,
No, I just wanted to get into you repeating it for the fourth time.
thank you. Here, take this back.
Hey, thanks, dude.
I don't want this right
Okay,
now.
man. All right, well, so go and talk into my
you.
thumb if you would.
Well, I don't know where that thumb's been.
Well, I don't know either, but, you know.
But anyway, Jumanji.
Does it smell at all?
I'm not going to go
Don't
near
think
that.
so. Jumanji, yeah, I liked the film a lot. I thought The Rock was good. I thought everybody was
It's
good.
a
I
lot
love
of
Jack
fun.
Black as the 15-year-old girl. I thought he was funny. I thought
He was really good.
Had some great stuff. Had some great special effects.
Yeah, I thought the effects were
what's
pretty
not
good.
to like?
Yeah.
What's not to like if you're just and, you know, I like films, and we're going to be discussing another film later on in this show, and it's coming up very shortly.
Yes.
It's coming up very shortly. We will be discussing another film starring three heavy-set ladies and some young people. But regardless of that, you know, I like a film that, as an adult, I can enjoy.
Exactly, yeah.
Specifically, a kid's film.
Yes.
Okay, and the film we're about to review after this was kind of programmed just to the younger
Yes,
set.
yes.
There was no adults in mind.
I know what you're saying.
And you know something? We might as well get into
Well,
that.
no,
film.
we're not yet. Let's finish
Oh,
your
right,
thought on
very
Jumanji
well.
first.
Oh, very well. Well, there's nothing much to say. I mean, I liked it a lot. It was entertaining. I liked everything about it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I recommend it
I
too.
thought the ending was kind of cool when Tom
like that.
Hanks Jr. shows up.
Oh yeah, Colin Hanks.
Little
Yeah,
Colin
that was
shows
cool.
up at the end
Yeah.
and kind of gives us our little warm, fuzzy feeling of warmth. And
Tied in a
isn't
bow.
that sweet? It's all
Yeah.
so cute and lovely. And
But
because of that, I thought the film worked on every
No,
level.
it did. And the thing I was going to say, to touch on a point that you mentioned, was a lot of the kids' films, specifically a lot of the animated Pixar films,
Yeah.
they do write these movies with adults in mind. A lot
Exactly.
of the jokes.
Well, they know that adults are going to
kids
be
gonna
bringing the
miss.
kids to the
Yeah.
films.
And in that, you're right. That
Absolutely.
was present in this a little bit.
Yeah.
There is some of that in this.
No question. No
But
question.
you're right, though. The next film we're going to review does not have that.
Yes.
But,
Not at all. It's
but
a
I
specific
appreciate-
audience only.
I appreciate that they do that because, you know, honestly, who wants to go sit through a kid's movie, really? You know,
Exactly.
Now that we're adults,
Except the kid.
yeah, I know.
Maybe a kid
but
would
the
like
point
to go.
is that when you can include the adult and you keep them in mind in the creative process, it really is a great benefit
It's
because
a
we're the ones
no-brainer,
paying
damn it.
for it.
It's a
It is.
no-brainer. I mean,
And-
really, movies
and
should
Jumanji-
they should be able to appeal to the entire
I agree.
gamut
Yes.
of human
Of
being,
film-goer.
of human
And we
being.
can leave our adult opinions and pretenses at the door and enjoy it on the same level as the kids and then feel satisfied.
I've said this many times. No matter what film, if you go back to a movie that you saw as a
Yeah.
child, okay, I remember sitting in a movie theater and watching like Dr. Zhivago.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you go see a film, and no matter what age you are, now you see it as you age in this particular life that we
Yes,
are all
yes.
forced to live. Unless you choose not to live it, of course.
Exactly.
But you now see the film from different perspectives.
I know what you're
we
saying,
look
yeah.
at when we're kids and we see E.T., we think, oh, those adults, they're all so mean and rotten. They're going to kill poor little E.T. Well, now you go as an adult and you see E.T.
Yeah.
and you're thinking, oh, well, these kids are kind of crazy, but I still
Different
love
point of
E.T.,
view.
man.
And,
You know, we still
Yeah.
have that. There's the aspect
There is, yeah.
element of viewing film.
through fresh eyes.
I
in a
love
way.
it. I love it. And every film becomes different.
I agree.
You go watch a movie, A Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Regardless whether it's the Jim Carrey or the Alastair Sim version from
Yes.
1952. I mean, you see things from different perspectives. So when a film encompasses all people and young and
Yeah.
old alike, it's a wonderful thing.
I agree,
And
100%.
it
I couldn't agree
shouldn't
more.
be that difficult.
I know.
You know, we have great, you know, they're going to spend millions of dollars on making a movie. They have to make it appeal to a lot
I
of
agree.
people.
Because the wider the appeal,
The more money that they should make
so
in
it's
the
kind
end.
of it's a no-brainer.
The
right?
almighty dollar
Yeah.
that has completely guided the hierarchy
true.
of Hollywood and those who make films within this confined
Mm-hmm.
of cinematic world that we relish, that you and I relish.
agreed.
And many of the folks out here watching our city say, wait,
It's back.
I see
Sansa
Pork
Stark.
Star. Sansa Stark
Pork
is
Star, how
there.
you doing?
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, good to see you there, kid.
Hopefully that'll continue.
She's a pork star, ladies and
But,
gentlemen.
we're gonna
Whatever
move
that
on.
is, I don't know. Well, yes.
So right now we're going to do A Wrinkle in Time.
A Wrinkle in
We're going to
Time?
cover A Wrinkle in Time.
You mean A Wrinkle in Time?
A Wrinkle in Time? Are you all right in there? I'm coming in. You all right? Oh my God. Oh, what did you eat?
I just saw a wrinkle in time. It just didn't agree with me.
Oh. I'll leave you alone.
Very
Well,
good, very good.
Wrinkle in Time is next.
I'd like to thank that gentleman there.
I'm sorry he doesn't feel well. He
I'm
didn't
sorry
like the
he
film.
didn't feel well, but you know I can't
That's too
really say
bad.
that I disagree too much with his aspect on that particular storyline
Well-
of Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah, so
You know,
would you like to begin on this
I'd
film?
be thrilled and honored and proud and privileged.
Should we tell the premise?
At all the same time? Well, it is basically about a man who has disappeared from his family life.
Played by Chris Pine.
Played by the illustrious
Who is really
Chris
excellent in
Pine.
everything he does.
He really is. He's never given a
great
bad
actor.
performance. He almost stole the film.
In my opinion, he's the heart of the movie.
He almost
was my
stole the
favorite
film
part.
from our beautiful Wonder Woman there.
Yeah.
You know, he played her partner in that film, and he was fantastic.
Oh, you're talking about a Wonder Woman, literally. Yeah, he was great
Wonder
in that.
Woman, the film.
Yeah,
he
no,
was
of course.
dynamite.
I agree.
mean, he's really great. I
He's
love
a
that
great
film he
actor.
did where they go out and they save all the people on the, you know, there's a boat sinking, there's a military boat that's sinking. He goes out with a
Yes,
with a
isn't Casey
liner.
Affleck in that one?
Yeah. It was
The Finest Hours, right?
Finest Hours.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with
Darkest Hours. I know, I almost said that. I said, no,
There you go.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you're
It's a
here,
good thing I
man,
didn't do this.
so that you can keep my brain straight.
Exactly.
But let's get to it though right away. Wrinkle in Time. Here we go. Specifically, we go from Jumanji to Wrinkle in Time. Here's a movie that literally was geared towards a what? A prepubescent, adolescent, you know, diaper dumping group of pygmyites.
Well, this is a
in
kid's
the very
movie.
young age.
100%.
You know, but come on. You know, you've got. First of all, this film to me was a dreary mess. This was torture for me to sit through. I kid you not. I'm going to die. I'm going to go to hell. I'm going to have to sit and watch this film on a loop forever and ever playing in my brain.
Wow.
Because that's how horrible. This film was torture to sit through. I just couldn't even appreciate it. There, we have Oprah, Reese Witherspoon, and
Mindy
little
Kaling.
Mandy Patinkin, played by Mindy
Mindy
Kaling, who I
Kaling.
actually do like
She's
very
great.
much. You know, but the three of them, they're wearing makeup, look like the Avon lady blew up in their face. But not only that, they also look like a parody of the Elizabeth Banks character in the Hunger
Game
Games.
films?
Yeah, I mean, they just looked absurd makeup
Well, I mean,
things.
it's for kids. I think it's
I
overdone,
understand.
the
It's,
makeup.
you know,
The outfits are overdone.
It's almost like a little bit of a Wizard of Oz thing.
With a little bit of the never-ending story, which for me was a big. I loved that film growing up, Never-Ending Story.
There you go.
Big fan. So this had moments that reminded me of that. Although that to me is a much better film.
No question.
This film, yeah, it's
It just fell
strictly
flat in so
for
many
kids.
ways. Special effects. I mean, you can literally take the meat. The meat of this movie literally is the beginning.
Yeah.
Chris Pine disappears. Now from that point on, we have so much fodder. So much, okay, we have the three witches or three bitches, whatever they may be, and we have them show up, and then suddenly we go into kind of a limbo world where we just have Oprah spouting, well, you know, did you ever think about where you came from? I mean, we just have some ludicrous comments coming out to, I suppose, appeal to our poor little generic subhuman there. I mean, subhuman certainly in the adolescent world, who, you know, I just feel, I'm not quite sure who this film was even geared for. The ending of the film has some frightening things, so that a very young person, we have tentacles, we have
Well, yeah,
Dr.
because
Octopus.
what they're doing is they're
Yeah.
transported. These
No, they
three
go to
spiritual
another
beings
planet.
transport the little girl
Right.
who's lost her father, played by Chris Pine. He was
Exactly.
transported through his scientific
Through some
experiments at
bizarre
NASA.
little, yeah, he did some astral projection,
Yeah, and he
goes into
transported
a
to another
psychic-
universe, basically. So then these three beings come. They see this girl. They see that she has gifts, so they say, and they want to take her there to help her find her father. She brings her
Right.
little brother, this little kid named Charles.
Did you
Wallace,
notice, by
and
the
her
way-
good friend as well.
Our little girl who stars in this film is a dead ringer for little Zendaya. The
I can
woman,
see that
the
a little
girl
bit
who is in
in
The
Greatest
Greatest
Showman.
Showman,
Yeah, I can see
who
that.
is now becoming a little bit of a phenomenon
She's
on
great,
her
yeah.
own. But and
but yeah,
also,
so-
and then the guy, they bring in this little boy to
The little
come
boy,
in.
yeah. Levi
and-
Miller is the actor.
Right, and he looks like young Sheldon.
A little
You
bit,
know, he
a
was
little
kind of
bit,
the
yeah.
young Sheldon guy. Why the hell was he even brought in?
Because they wanted a male character.
wanted a male
probably.
character.
And maybe he was in the book. I mean,
This
from what I
movie-
heard, I'm not familiar with the book.
This movie was so
I've heard that it deters a little bit from the book.
Completely, yeah, absolutely. But
Departs from the book, I'm sorry.
It just seemed like such a formula film.
Yeah.
We're going to show you this. Okay, here comes Oprah, but Oprah And even, I got to hand it to Reese Witherspoon. Of the three, she stood out.
I thought she was pretty good.
I thought she
agree
was
with you
pretty good.
100%.
She had energy to her.
If I was Oprah in that outfit, I would have felt ridiculous.
Oprah was dreary, and so was little Mindy Kaling. Yeah.
Well, she did. Mindy, unfortunately, didn't really have much to do. The whole movie, all she was doing was quoting people from pop culture. Is all she was really doing.
Right. Oh, this was just god awful.
But I'll be honest, I didn't love the film. I enjoyed it a little more than I thought because I had absolutely zero interest to see it.
Yeah.
But I went for the show, really, and I can appreciate for this show.
The things that you do,
I
man.
know, yeah.
You know, people say, "What do you do for this show?" Well,
I go
here's what
see
we do.
movies,
We go
yeah,
see movies
like
that we
this.
don't
Yeah.
want to see.
But
And this was a prime
My
example.
point is, I can appreciate that kids would like this film. It's, I guess you could say, although it's a lesser version, in my opinion, it could be their Wizard of Oz, possibly.
Oh, no way, dude.
Well, for them, maybe they haven't seen Wizard of Oz. They might think, oh, this is amazing. You know, it's got small kids as the main characters, and the little boy I thought was pretty good.
You're talking about little Wallace?
He kind of gets
the
possessed
little Charlie
a little bit.
Wallace, that guy?
Yeah, and then at the end they have to fight this creature, this entity, this being called
Big
the...
octopi.
Yeah, it looks like a huge
Yeah.
octopus.
It was
They
Alfred
called it-
Molina on loan from
kind of,
Spider-Man 2.
But yeah, that could be scary for kids. It reminded me
know.
of the Nothing from the Never-Ending Story.
Absolutely.
The silliest part to me is that Reese Witherspoon's true form, she's like a flying,
Oh yeah, she's
a flying
like
cabbage.
I know.
with leaves as wings.
Well, that was Avatar ripoff
It
deluxe,
was, yeah.
where she's flying through the air
Yeah.
and they're going around mountain
So
sides.
for an
and
adult,
so
if you're
forth.
looking to take your boyfriend or your girlfriend to a movie, I wouldn't recommend
This is
taking
not the
this
film.
unless you're bringing a child with you, which then, okay,
No.
they'll enjoy it.
Because don't even do
It's for
that.
kids, though.
Yeah, but
Kids
it's
will
for
enjoy this
kids.
film.
So one out of those three people is going to enjoy that film.
I agree.
So-
But the kids can't go by themselves, so the parents are going to have to go to see this.
I would send my
know?
child into a room there with guys in trench coats and so forth, just so I didn't have to go into this theater and watch this film.
Yeah.
Because my God, was this a horrifying
I would never
thing.
watch it again.
No, it was horrifying.
Yeah.
It was just the worst. It was dreary. That was the essence of it.
Yeah.
It was a dreary
I know what you're
film.
saying, yeah. And it was a little all over the
downer.
place.
It was a downer. Now, I'm going to mention something that, not a spoiler, mind you. However, the ending of the film. Okay, now it's kind of
Oh, that reminds me of something I wanted to say, too.
But the ending of this film, finally, the goal is approached and the joy has occurred.
Yes.
But there's no joy in Mudville here. There's no joy.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, there's more concern about, oh, little young Sheldon, oh, I think I love you, but that is thrown to the wayside.
Well, the film's focus was, the message of the film was love, and how there's I love you is probably touted on this film 100 times. I love
not
you, I love you so much.
Just that one segment towards the beginning when she's talking about.
Well,
how much
later on at the end, too,
and
she's
then
like,
at the
I
end,
love you, Charles Wallace.
even
You know,
though
there's
you're
a
a
lot of
jerk,
that.
I love you.
But I liked also, her name is Gugu Mbatha-Raw. She played the mother. I thought she was excellent.
Oh, I love
She's
her.
been in a lot of stuff.
A lot of
She
stuff.
has really great presence. I loved her
She
in
does.
Molly's Game.
Yes, she was-
She's a very good actress.
She's
I
a
liked her
lovely
quite a
woman,
bit.
and she's a great actress, and
She's very good.
just getting
She's
into
diverse. And I believe she showed up, was that her on Westworld, or was that the other actress?
She reminds me very
I
much
think it
of
might have
the,
been her.
you know,
or
the new-
Tessa Thompson.
the-
One of the two of them was
The
in
new
Westworld.
Denzel film, the woman who's in that.
Yeah, similar to her. It's not her,
very
but it's similar to her.
very attractive
She was
lady,
very good
but
too.
very
Yeah.
much of a presence.
And
Absolutely.
you know who I thought was distracting in this film, although I think he played the part decently, was Zach Galifianakis.
Oh, yeah, that
he
was-
played like
what
a
a waste.
seer.
What a waste.
But totally distracting.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
a waste
it
of
wasn't
time. and
necessary.
that whole segment should have been just cut
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, that was
We
not
could have turned
necessary.
this into a 15-minute film and made it far better
Yeah.
than the hour and 49 minutes that it was.
could have been trimmed, yeah, to say the least. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But again, kids, they'll like it. Watch it at home.
Kids will
Don't-
watch anything.
They
You put
probably
it
will.
on the damn screen, they're going to
Yeah.
watch it. You know what? You
So-
put a little wine in their pablum, next
Yeah.
thing you know, they're watching it.
I know. Shall we
But
move on?
I think we should move on.
All right, well, we're going to move on. We're
We
going
are,
to do,
yes.
I'm watching the clock, don't worry.
Okay, dude.
All right, so next we're going to cover a film. It's called Film Stars Don't Die in Liverpool.
Oh, there we go.
And I've been wanting to review this film for a bit. It was out in theaters last fall. It stars Annette Bening, Jamie Bell,
Okay.
Vanessa Redgrave, and Julie Walters.
Yes.
And it's based on a true story.
It is indeed.
It's actually quite a remarkable little film. And Annette Bening plays a famous Oscar-winning actress from early Hollywood, 1950s.
1953.
She won
an
the
Oscar. Yes.
Yeah, her name was
Gloria Graham.
Gloria Graham, yes.
Correct.
And so this film is about her in her later years, late 70s, early 80s, when she's doing some plays in England.
Wait a minute. Early 70s, early 80s?
I said I'm sorry, late 70s, early 80s. That's what I thought I said.
Well, you're making it sound as though that's how old she was.
No, I'm saying that's when the movie takes place.
She died at the age of 53.
No, I didn't say that's how old she was. I said this
Okay.
movie takes place in the late 70s, early 80s.
All right, very well.
When she's later in life doing plays in England.
Yes.
And she falls in love with a young actor played by Jamie Bell.
Yes.
And this is a true story. The film is based on a memoir by Peter Turner, the man who lived the story. It's his tale.
Okay.
And he wrote, I think he wrote the screenplay too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and it's
Okay.
all about their romance, and it's told in present day, which is 1981, and then in flashbacks to I think 79 and 1980.
Something like that, when they first met,
when they first met
when
and
they're
fall
first
in love.
beginning their romantic interlude.
And we find out that how she's dying, and that's not a spoiler. We find that out from the
fairly
title
quick.
itself.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
thought it was a very poignant film, and I thought it was well acted.
I thought Annette Bening as the centerpiece of this film was extraordinary.
She was excellent.
I thought she was lovely.
I always
and
have
she
liked
was,
Annette Bening.
She was charming, and she almost had a Marilyn Monroe essence to
Yeah,
her.
yeah,
There was
yeah.
a very delicate kind of
There is.
sense
And there's
of,
a cuteness
of
to her that's
innocence.
still there.
There's a sense of innocence to
Yeah.
her that I totally relished, and I really love, because Annette usually plays, I think there's some of the roles that Frances McDormand doesn't get.
Annette Bening
Annette
could have
might
played.
get, because
Yeah.
she's got that same hardness.
She does.
She has that ability to play soft and hard.
A tough woman.
A tough lady, and in this particular film, she plays it soft to such a wonderful
Almost
extent.
ultra sensitive. Like you
I
call her
loved
old
it.
and she starts
Oh,
crying.
I loved it.
Yeah.
The movie
It's a-
sucked me in right from the start.
It's
I was
beautiful.
moved by it. I could just tell, although I must say, in overall, it is a semi-tragedy, if you will.
Yeah,
It is
of
about the
course.
last years of this woman's life. I must say, and I hate to jump to this bit of an epilogue in my review in my brain, but I found it not to be I wasn't moved by it. I didn't find tears forming in the edges of my little corneas here.
Is that necessarily a bad thing? Does that mean it's not a
Well,
good movie?
No, it doesn't mean that it's no.
I like when that happens, but I don't judge a
Absolutely.
film if it doesn't happen.
Absolutely true. But I expected it to be
Yeah.
there to some extent, but it never did awry for me. Does it mean that I love the film any less? Absolutely not. I love the performances. I love the film. I just loved it, the way she became hard and kind of tough when she finds out some bad news.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Things happen in this film, but it was beautifully photographed.
It is. It's gorgeous.
It's a stunning little piece
Yeah.
of art, cinematography, the art design in this film, the script, everything about it. I think the ending, for me, got a little too much.
I almost feel like the very end was almost a little anticlimactic. We see an
Yeah.
event, and then it just cuts to black, and it says blah 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 blah.
And
the
then
end.
this happened
and I'm just
to-
like, oh, I expected a little more.
But you know something? Till the end, I wasn't quite sure if this was a true story.
Yeah, no, I knew
You
it
know?
was because I
Okay.
heard the author. Now as an adult,
Okay.
when this film was in the
I
in the
wasn't
theater,
sure about that.
he was being interviewed on the radio. I heard him. It was
I
interesting.
wasn't sure if it was true.
Yeah.
So the ending, and then of course immediately you hop on your phone, you go to IMDb.
Yeah, you see.
Ladies and gentlemen, IMDb, it's just for you. Census Stock, where are you?
Yeah, that's the last thing that was said.
Stock, come back to
Oh,
us.
no.
We need you.
Yeah.
We miss you. You're making me cry, and you're gone now.
But I thought that this film,
But,
though,
it was-
definitely was
it
beautiful.
was beautiful. It really
there were
was.
some sequences that I thought were really captivating. There's I'd say close to 3/4 into the film, there's this montage set to this gorgeous music that I just loved. I was just like, wow, this is a great sequence.
Yeah. What
I
sequence
loved
was
it.
that?
It was when they were chronicling.
They were going back and forth between New York and,
Yeah,
and Liverpool.
it was showing the progression of their relationship.
Okay.
There were two particular moments that had the same piece of music that was showcased through different montages, and it was really great. I loved it. I'm a big fan. Who isn't a fan of a good score? But when it's really utilized well, with a good montage of beautiful imagery and some heartfelt acting, it just really works. And I enjoyed this film fully. I really thought it was a nice little story.
Speaking
I
of
love
music,
Julie Walters as
I
the
did
main
too. Yeah.
the main character, Jamie
Almost
Bell,
didn't recognize
his
her.
mother.
Yeah.
Vanessa Redgrave has a small part
Very
as
small.
Annette Bening's mother, but that's a great scene.
Great scene
when they
also.
meet him for the first time,
Right.
and we learn a little bit more about her history there. Some heartbreaking scenes too, some arguments.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful,
No, it was
beautiful
touching.
film.
It was sweet, and but Annette Bening at the core of this film just really.
I'm surprised she wasn't nominated, but it was a tough year.
It was
a lot
tough
of good
year.
stuff.
A lot of good people out there. Frances had it in the bag.
Yeah, I mean, she had it.
You know, and we had Lady Bird. We had
We did.
We just had some great
We had,
performances this
Sally
year.
Hawkins.
So naturally, Sally, Shape of Water, but yeah, I thought it was just beautifully made. It's just touching from the word go, and just a very sweet film, and I absolutely
recommend it highly.
adored it.
I know it's finally coming out on video on the 24th of April.
Next
it's going to be on demand very soon, within
Very
a couple
soon
weeks
you
probably.
shall see it. We were able to go to a New York screening.
Well, we were lucky.
Probably,
We saw it a few months ago. But
a few months ago.
I've been
Wanted
wanting
to
to
mention
review. The holiday season is just so busy. We can't cover everything.
We can't do
but
everything.
I'm finally happy that
We're
we can
just
talk
two
about this
guys
film.
here.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's a great film. No, we really recommend it.
Absolute.
Okay, so we're going to move on to our final film of the night.
Oh, heavens.
The Death of Stalin.
Oh, my God.
Which is playing in theaters now. This is it's an interesting little movie. It's kind of a screwball dark comedy.
It is.
Directed by Armando Iannucci, who's the guy that did Veep on HBO, which is a great show.
It is a great show.
I'll be honest, I haven't watched the past couple seasons, but the first 2 or 3 that I've seen, Veep is a hilarious, really sharply written and directed show.
Every
Great
year
show.
for the Emmys.
She wins almost.
She wins, and the show wins
Yeah.
Best Ensemble
It's
Comedy
fantastic.
like 7 years in a row
It's a fantastic cast.
Yeah.
So Armando has a really good ability to keep his actors on point, and he directs really well, and he has really sharp scripts. And so The Death of Stalin just covers the insanity and power struggle that ensued in the wake of the death of Stalin.
Correct.
In 1954 or 5.
Something like that.
Yeah.
When Khrushchev comes into
Khrushchev
power,
comes in.
right before the Bay of Pigs incident, of
Exactly,
course.
yeah. So, and
which
we have,
was with Kennedy in 63.
It was,
62,
63.
61.
Yeah. So this film is a dark comedy that covers the immediate aftermath of his death. And we have a lot of American actors actually playing these Russians, like we have Khrushchev played by Steve Buscemi. We have Jeffrey Tambor playing Molotov, I think his name was.
Yeah.
We have a British actor named Simon Russell Beale, who's almost the villain of the film. He was the heavyset man.
Right.
He was really good.
He was wonderful.
We have Michael Palin in a prominent role.
It was so
he was
good
great.
to see Michael Palin
I love
again.
seeing him.
You know, Michael Palin, of
He's a
course,
lot of
from
fun.
Monty Python.
Yes.
If you're gazing at that photo there, I'm trying to think. I think he might
got
be
a
the second
mustache,
from the
yeah.
left. Is that
Yeah.
him with his behind his hand?
I believe.
That might very well be him.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
quite
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, he was
But,
great
you know,
in everything.
I did not love this film. It was a contrast in energy for me.
Mm-hmm.
It would go to a rather dark, kind of almost mean-spirited sometimes.
A little bit.
It would just get a little mean. It would go into a slapsticky thing.
There's definitely slapstick.
One thing I did not care for, and I don't like this. You know, this is very famous back in when England would make American war stories.
I know what you're going to say, 'cause this is an issue I had with it.
They always speak in, you know, they would do Germans with British
I know.
accents. Nobody talks
No.
with a Russian accent
Well,
in
that
this
took-
film.
that took me out
One
of-
or two.
Yeah, one or two.
One or two.
See, that took me out of the film at first. That took me
Absolutely.
way out of Valkyrie with
Ah, there
Tom
you go.
Cruise.
Yeah.
I couldn't buy that.
Other people were speaking
Yeah.
German in that film,
I mean,
but Tom never did.
Tom, you did British perfectly in
I
Interview with the
know.
Vampire. Why didn't him and Singer get together and say, Brian Singer, the director, let's just do the German. Let's
But
work
of
on
course,
it.
the worst is Kevin Costner in Prince of.
Oh, he drops it halfway
Prince
through.
of Thieves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I
But-
mean, that was just.
But here's a
pathetic.
note. Knowing this movie being as well made as well, I had to find out why didn't they have it. Well, I researched it.
Okay.
Armando Iannucci deliberately told the actors, don't do any accents. So you're British, speak with your British. If you're American, be American.
Big mistake.
So Buscemi is playing Khrushchev with an American
He
accent.
sounds like
He
me.
did-
He's
yeah,
got my
he does.
nasal voice.
He did not want his actors being concerned with doing the accent. He didn't want
Just
that to
wanted the
overshadow the
intensity.
performance.
Yeah, but it didn't work. It
So-
didn't work. Yeah, we're
well,
going to do a Russian
I
movie.
was able to overlook it
It is
for a
not
while,
hard to do Russian accent.
but
Anybody
it's easy
can
to do it poorly, though. Like, I
Well-
wouldn't do a Russian accent or British unless I could do it well.
Well, then hire people that can do a decent
or just
Russian
get a
accent.
dialect coach to be in there and,
And
go to
Steve-
boot camp for these guys.
Steve Buscemi as Khrushchev.
Yeah.
I remember Khrushchev well.
Yeah.
In Through the World of History, as
Yeah.
we can all go see
Yeah, of
Khrushchev
course.
banging his shoe on the table. We
Yeah.
will bury you.
Yeah.
And you know he was a short little, you know, had a cue ball bald head, and he looked nothing like Steve Buscemi, even though Steve, had this side
bald
hair.
hair, his bald cap.
There was nothing about Steve Buscemi that made me think of Nikita Khrushchev
Yeah, I
by
know.
any means. This movie was a total, I can't say a total failure. I did find myself compelled to watch the next frame.
Yes, yes.
That's how movies get us. We watch the first frame of the film, and if we can get to the final frame of the film without dozing off,
Yeah.
without running to the bathroom, be it in the theater or at our homes,
Yes.
or running for something, some snack in our
Or
kitchen.
picking up your cell phone because you're
picking
getting
up
bored.
your cell
you know?
phone and playing solitaire because you don't know what the hell to do with yourself. And I found myself going through a series of brain farts where I didn't want to be in front of that screen. I didn't want to be there watching this on demand. I just didn't get me. I didn't feel the pull to and the compellment to watch any more of it than I had to. But of course, we do a show called Film Banter.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I'm the. Wow, it's a good hit. I'm the polar opposite of you.
Next
really,
Film Banter, it's going to be like this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But
Coma banter.
Exactly.
I'll be honest with you, I am the opposite opinion of you. I really like this film.
Really?
I enjoyed the hell out of
My
this movie.
God.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill you for that.
Oh!
No,
What
I'm
is
sorry.
this channel? Bunch of complete BS.
I don't know, and they blocked the only message they have.
I don't know what that means.
Bunch of complete BS, TB. Little Blue Mega Man.
I don't know
and
what
they
that
blocked
is.
the only message they have.
I don't know. That might not
don't
be.
know.
That might not even be meant for
Might
us.
not be for us.
Oh, maybe it
don't
might
know.
be terrific. I have no what.
don't
Whatever.
know. BS
That's. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Anyway, I really enjoyed this film.
Really?
I'm a big fan of movies that are kind of like chaotic, not necessarily comedy of errors, but almost, behind the scenes chaos. This movie reminded me a lot, although obviously it's not Neil Simon, but Neil Simon's Noise is Off, which is the behind the scenes of a play being put on.
Okay.
And we never see the play. We only see what happens behind the stage,
Well,
backstage.
chaotic is good.
Yeah, but I thought
don't
that this
disagree
film
with chaotic.
had
but
a lot of this chaotic energy, these characters fighting with each other for power, a lot of stupidity on display from people. Tambor plays a complete puppet idiot.
Right.
I really enjoyed
Some of
this
the
film.
performances were quite
I thought
fun.
the performances were great. I just really enjoyed every
Yeah.
moment of this film.
Okay.
And having, not the kind of relationship with some of these historical figures. I mean, I know of them, but I wasn't 100% familiar with Khrushchev. I wasn't alive then.
Of course
I've
not.
seen him in newsreel footage, but
As have I.
it wasn't a figure that was cemented into my brain like, okay, Saddam
There you
Hussein
go.
or Hitler or whatever, you
Yeah.
know? So for me, I was able to get past the characterizations and enjoy what the actors did regardless. And I really enjoyed this film. I thought it was a lot of fun.
All right.
I would watch it again.
Would you?
I enjoyed it a lot.
What if I put a gun to your head and said, please don't watch it again?
No, I would still watch it.
Would you?
I liked all the actors. I thought it was fun to see Jason Isaacs play this general that comes in and takes over, and he's part of a coup that takes place. Again, Andrea Riseborough, who we see in a lot of movies, played Stalin's daughter.
Oh yes,
And then
yes.
his-
We just saw her recently, and she played
I feel like she's in
Emma
everything.
Stone's lover in
in Match Point.
In Match,
not,
no,
I'm,
no,
I'm
no.
not Match Point.
The
Battle of the Sexes.
Battle of the Sexes with Steve Carell.
That was a fun movie.
It was a fun movie.
I liked what's his name? Not Michael. Rupert Friend played Stalin's
I
son.
love Rupert Friend.
He was great.
No, he was great.
He played a bumbling alcoholic womanizer, and he was really fun in this
Yeah.
movie too. I just really enjoyed it. I really
He was in the
liked
first
this
3
movie.
seasons of Homeland.
I know he was.
With
Yeah.
Claire
Well, don't tell me what
Danes.
happens. I haven't
So
seen Homeland,
amazing.
but I know he was in that
A
show.
fine actor.
Yeah. No, he's good. So we split on that. I give it a yes. He gives it a mild no.
I almost give it a yes. I mean, it was entertaining.
You can
to
wait
some
to see it
extent.
at home, obviously.
Yeah. It's not a great film, and as I say, I hated the American accent and Steve Buscemi. I thought he was totally miscast in this. I just found him more irritating than entertaining. I didn't enjoy his performance at all. He was just screaming at everybody, much like I do to you,
That's
and
true.
you do to me.
Yes.
Very often. So there was just too much. It didn't. There was no payoff for me.
What is this? Do you guys touch each other after the stream? Kind of getting me steamy in there. I don't know what that means.
I don't know who this guy is.
Little Blue Man.
Little Blue Mega Man.
Yeah, we don't know who you are or what
maybe,
you're talking about. But
he may have just stepped out of Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
I think that
I don't
there
know.
might be an
Hey, he's
Uba
watching.
Luba. Might be an Uba Luba essence.
Maybe he
to
doesn't
that,
like what we're doing, I
Little
don't know.
Blue Mega Man. Then again, maybe he does. Who knows? You know,
Do it
there
to
is a
each other
God, and
all the
perhaps
time.
he's smiling upon little blue Mega Man.
Whatever
and,
that means.
I
But
don't
all
know.
right, so we split on Death of Stalin. I mean, I would say check it out at home. You don't have to run out to go see it, but
No.
you know, it's okay. I
Very
liked
much
it
so.
regardless.
Well, I must say this, that I did miss the interactive.
Yeah, I was
You know, it was
surprised
kind of
that
a
that wasn't
Yeah, it was kind
working.
of a kick.
Hopefully next week it'll
it
be
was-
working much
absolutely.
more.
I hope so.
But anyway, regardless, had fun talking about these movies with you.
Another film
Yeah,
banter has
yeah.
bit the dust.
We'll be back next week. I
Episode
guess
74, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, there's some things coming out. I know Pacific Rim 2 is coming out. I know neither one of us really want to see that.
Nobody really wants to go see that.
I guess we might have
It
to.
is a Guillermo del Toro production.
Production. He's
but
didn't
Guillermo
direct
did
it,
not
though.
direct it.
No.
Although it is his least passionate. The Pacific Rim,
Yeah.
I think it's least passionate film from Guillermo. It doesn't
Yeah, I
have
didn't love
his-
Pacific Rim, to
I
be
didn't
honest
either.
with you. No,
I
I
like
didn't love it.
Charlie, what's his name in there? Charlie Hudson?
No,
Charlie
Charlie Day.
No.
Charlie Day from
No. The guy from...
Charlie Hunnam.
Charlie Hunnam.
I was talking about the other guy, the
I know who
comedic
you're
guy,
talking
Charlie
about.
Day.
No, he's okay.
Yeah, he's back,
from
I believe.
Sunny in
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
Yes. All right,
No,
let's see what else is opening this week. Maybe I'll go see Isle of Dogs, because I know you won't want to see
Isle of
that.
Dogs?
It's a new Wes Anderson
It's an
animated film.
animated film.
Yeah, and this is with another stop action
And
project
we also
that he's doing.
have Seven from Entebbe, which is out now.
Yeah, I might go
which-
see that too.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to see.
So immature.
I want to see.
and it's so immature to say so immature.
I want to see Unsane. That's the new Steven Soderbergh film.
Oh, yes.
About Claire Foy being committed against her will.
There you go.
And she thinks she's going crazy. That looks kind of
you
cool.
know,
Coming from Soderbergh, who said he was not going to stop directing.
I know, about 3 films ago.
Yeah.
I know. So
He
it's
keeps
very
doing
well.
it.
Indeed.
But anyway,
All right, folks.
that's our show.
There you go, dudes.
We appreciate you guys watching. We'll be back next week.
Yeah, we hope to see Mr. Immature Man, little blue.
Hey, watch our
Mega
show again,
Man.
buddy.
Yeah, dude, you're the only guy who showed
If
up.
you want to see more of what we did,
And
just
you're
check it
so
out on
funny.
YouTube.
Ha, ha, ha.
Look up Film Banter on YouTube, buddy. There's 70-something
Wasn't
episodes.
this a Fabio Assisi?
Yeah,
Who is a
Fabio
Fabio?
Assisi gave us a hand. Is that a
He
wave?
did? I don't know what he did.
Or is that
but
a
hey,
palm?
Fabio.
I don't know
Hey,
what
is it
that
good to
is.
see you?
Yeah.
You know, Fabio, I'll never forget this. Fabio was sitting on a roller coaster.
You're talking about the model.
The model.
I can't believe he's
Fabio.
on Batter.
The guy who, Fabio,
Yeah.
a very famous guy.
I know, yeah.
Long hair.
He
big
was on the
pointed
cover of
nose.
romance novels.
Yeah, and a dove or a seagull hit him right in the face.
Oh, I think I saw that.
Yeah, it was like
I
10
think
years
I saw-
ago.
A long time
It was a long
ago.
time ago.
Did you ever see the video of the guy? It was a baseball game where the pitcher threw the ball and it hit a bird and the bird exploded.
Oh, that was horrifying.
That was
Yeah, the
crazy.
pitcher.
Yeah.
And the bird
Yeah.
flew across, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was
Oh, more
amazing.
chest hair next time.
More chest
You got to
hair.
wear your open shirt. Thanks, dude.
There you go.
Whoa. Oh my God, it's so bright.
You got a brush in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I should just comb this rack down.
You know, we just shine a light on that. You can help to
I
get
know.
Batman here.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
We're all right.
But anyway, guys,
Well, all right, little blue mega jerk.
we'll see you
it's
next
so
week.
good to have you here, and hopefully you'll be back next week with more nonsensical idiocies.
Yes.
And we look forward to that most definitely.
We do.
And with that, we must say...
We bid you adieu till next time.
Adieu.
Yeah, feel free to reach out to us
Yes.
on Facebook, filmbanter@gmail.com. Check us out on YouTube.
Check us out
We'll see you
everywhere.
on
Blah,
Twitch
blah, blah.
/Be Terrific next week.
We'll be here, dude.
8 o'clock.
All right.
Adios.
All right, take care. End of show.
Road. Yeah, going on now. Yeah, Mr.